Do you struggle when it comes to portion control, or maybe binge eating, or eating out of boredom, or maybe due to high stress? Or maybe it just feels like you have a bottomless pit, right? Almost like a tapeworm inside of you. You're just eating over and over and nonstop. But now it's starting to play some negative effects. Maybe you don't like the way that you look or feel. Maybe the clothes are a little bit too tight on you. Maybe because of all the eating, you have some bad health issues now. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, maybe even type 2 diabetes. And you're trying your hardest to lose the weight, but it seems like nothing seems to be working for you. Well, if that sounds anything like you, pay close attention. Because in this video, I'm going to break down 3 key tips that's going to help you when it comes to portion control, binge eating, stress eating, anything like that. And also help you when it comes to losing weight and keeping it off once and for all. Now, these tips have helped Brian lose over 85 pounds and keep it off. Honestly, when he went through our 12-week transformation program, he learned all the tools and was able to get in the best shape of his life, but also maintain that success for over 5 years. Same also with Mark. Mark went through our 12-week transformation program, learned all the tools. He was able to lose over 90 pounds and keep it off without dieting, without cardio, any of that nonsense. Now, that's why I'm saying pay close attention, because in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to get the same results for your goals. Now, in case you don't know anything about me or who I am, my name is Joe Callari. I'm the CEO and head coach of Heartletics, where I help guys learn the best, most sustainable tips when it comes to losing fat, building lean muscle for their body types, and maintaining that success long term due to just sustainable fat loss habits that we like to talk about. And inside this video, I'm going to share with you more details about that. But let me just say this. Growing up, I always struggled with food. Honestly, I grew up in an Italian household with the finish everything on your plate mentality, the good foods versus the bad foods. And I grew up with this binge eating disorder. And it didn't really hit me. Honestly, I just thought I was like big boned, or because I tried my best to really work out, I just thought I was putting on muscle. But it really didn't hit me until middle school, when at the lunch table, one of the girls threw one of these Nestle chunky bars right at me. And she hit at me with it, and she said, "Here you go, fatty. It has your name on it." And at that point, when everybody, including like my best friends, were laughing at me, like that's when it kind of hit me. And, like I tried to shrug it off and laugh it off in the moment. But man, when I came home from middle school that day, like I cried my eyes out. I was like, I am going to do whatever is possible to never get made fun of again for being overweight. So I tried all these different things. I tried cutting out your carbs. I tried not eating anything, only drinking water. I tried all these different workouts and different programs that you find on bodybuilding.com and different Reddit sites and men's health magazines and YouTube. And nothing seemed to really work for me permanently. Like, sure, I would lose some weights, but I would just gain it right back. And it actually wasn't until college when I got certified in personal training, nutrition, sports and strength and conditioning, like all these different things to just invest into myself, the right knowledge. That's when it finally clicked, right? And honestly, when I got my nutrition certification, like everything just seemed to make so much sense. And that's exactly what I want to teach you in this video as we talk about these tips that's going to be able to help you out. Because once it all clicked for me, I realized there was no such thing as good foods versus bad foods. You see, like when you're actually chewing food and swallowing and digesting it, your body doesn't say, oh, this is good food for, this is bad food. And you shouldn't have this. And that's just a mindset. Like food is just calories. Calories is just numbers. Out of these numbers, right, and out of these calories, we have our macros, right, short for macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats. And your body just kind of digests everything and puts it where it needs to go. And so when you understand for your body type, actually how to lose fat, it makes it a lot simple, because you understand that, hey, you don't actually need to cut out your favorite foods or avoid alcohol or anything like that. It's just a game of numbers. And so when it comes down to the first tip that helped Brian lose over the 85 pounds and keep it off, help Mark lose over 95 pounds and keep it off, it's because they understood that. And that's the first tip that I want to share with you is you need to understand what actually is going to work best for your body type. What is the best calories that you should be in to lose fat? Now, don't play this game of calories in versus calories out, because if someone is going to say, hey, you should be in a 300 or 500 calorie deficit, and you're like, okay, well, hey, calories in versus calories out, I'm just going to be in a 1,000 calorie deficit because I want to lose even more weight, lose even more body fat. It's not going to work that way. You're going to be shooting yourself in the foot because what's going to happen is you're going to be under eating so much that you're going to be losing your muscle mass. Sure, the number of the skill is going to go down, but you will be losing your muscle. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of like intermittent fasting, because if you don't actually know how to still hit your macronutrients, like you're going to be losing your muscle. It's just how it is. And the older you get, especially after the age of 40, you're going to be losing muscle year and year and year and year. And that means your testosterone levels are going to tank, your metabolism is going to slow down. So it's like, hey, it's best to understand and get proper knowledge of what actually works for you rather than just throwing spaghetti up on the wall, hoping and praying something sticks, second guessing everything and just trying what everybody else is doing. Doesn't necessarily work. And who knows? Maybe you tried all these different diets before in the past, and this is starting to sound a little bit now relatable to you. Okay? So the first tip is you, once again, need to invest in the right knowledge for your body type. So I would just say a simple calculation is if you want to lose fat and not lose muscle, is take your body weight and multiply it by 10, 11, or 12, just depending on your activity level. 10, 11, or 12. That's it. Like, that's going to give you a good rule of thumb. If you're somebody that's very active, multiply it by 12. If you're somebody that's very sedentary, multiply it by 10. Stick with eating that many calories. And within those calories, don't get confused about the carbs, the fats, and all that stuff. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Focus on eating good amount of protein. How much you're asking? 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's it. Right? That is the first tip. That is the best piece of education that you're going to get, and that's going to save your life. Trust me, because there's nothing worse than walking around having this unhealthy relationship with food, saying to yourself, oh, I can't have that, and then you're feeling guilty the next day when you cave in and you do. It's not going to work for you. Trust me. Personally, it's not going to work for you. Okay? Been there, done that. Thousands of our coaching members, been there, done that. It's not going to work for you. Understand the right knowledge. Okay? Calories, protein. Number 2, right? Tracking your nutrition. So you can download MyFitnessPal. You can download the Lose It app. You can use our app, obviously, if you're one of our coaching members. But like, you got to track. If you're not tracking, like, you don't know if you're actually close to hitting your goals or if you're not. You know, most people that struggle when it comes to having, like, let's just say a fat loss plateau where they can't seem to see the number binge, or, you know, just budge, whatever. It's simply because they're just kind of second guessing things. They think they're in a calorie deficit, but they really don't know. They could be, you know, grabbing some snacks here, let's say a handful of nuts, and most people think like nuts are protein, but they're not. It's all fats, aka a lot of calories. So it's like they're snacking on these nuts, they're snacking on all these different things. They're kicking themselves out of a calorie deficit. And I've seen this with time and time again. I mean, Brian, who I mentioned before that lost over 85 pounds, he tried doing MyFitnessPal. He tried doing all these different things, but he didn't have the right form of accountability. He didn't have anybody that was actually helping him see the numbers that he was seeing, all the different blind spots. Same thing with Mark as well. And both of these guys were able to lose the weight and keep it off simply because of the tips that I'm sharing with you right now. Right? So going back to number 1, these guys had to learn what is a healthy calorie deficit to be in to lose fat and not muscle. How much protein that they should be having. Boom, we got that, right? They lost the weight. Then it's like, okay, we got to make sure that we're monitoring their progress. They're tracking everything. You know, if you're a business owner, hey, I'm sure you got your KPIs. I'm sure you got, you know, your sales inventory, all that stuff. You got to make sure you're tracking the stuff. You can't let, you know, things go behind your head and off through the radar, right? You got to have somebody crossing your T's, dotting your I's, checking your blind spots for you. And so that's why for you, it's probably going to be in your beneficial just to start tracking your own protein, your own calories, your own food logs, just to see, like, am I actually in a deficit or not? Because that could just help you out, boom, just by spending a day tracking what you eat. It's really not that hard, okay? Now, lastly, and this is so important, and this is why, like, our coaching program really thrives at Heartletics, which, in case you guys don't want any more details, I have some links down below for you. The first link, if you're watching this on YouTube, is just a free 90-day fat loss guide. It goes over workouts, it goes over nutrition, it goes over what you should be doing for 90 days that's going to help you lose anywhere from 20 to 50 pounds of fat. The second link is like, okay, hey, let's just say you want some extra assistance. You want actually coached, right? You want to be inside of our coaching program. You want to use our app. You want us to take out all the guesswork for you, give you personalized workouts, whether you work out at home, whether you go to the gym, whether you have any kind of past or current injuries, depending on the days of the week that best suits your schedule, taking out all the guesswork for you with the nutrition as well, really helping you. And also holding you accountable to having success when it comes to reaching your health and fitness goals, then awesome, right? We can hop on a straight strategy call, going over your health and fitness goals more in detail, kind of figuring out what are your blind spots, what are your struggles, if we can help you out or not. And that is going to be the second link down below in the description box, okay? Now, third tip, right, is giving yourself grace. You got to have the right mindset when it comes down to nutrition. I used to be somebody that, once again, I would overeat, I would indulge. The next day, I would feel so guilty, and then I would just pretty much starve myself or do a whole bunch of cardio, try to burn it off and outdo the bad. Doesn't work, right? You got to give yourself grace. You know, like Rome wasn't built in a day, and nobody's perfect, right? You can't rush the process. It's all about trust in the process. You know, and so like there's nothing worse than looking at it from like, oh man, I indulged and I overate and I feel guilty, and then it's like self-sabotage. You know, just take a bigger picture of, let's just say, the whole entire calendar year, 365 days. If we had to mark off, and let's just say 65 days were your cheat days, anniversaries, sick days, days where you're injured or traveling, anything like that, days where you're just off track. Well, if you're consistent or at least 1% better each and every day on 300 days, that's a really good, successful year for you. And that's the right mindset to have, is you got to give yourself grace. I mean, like with Brian losing over 85 pounds, with Mark losing over 90 pounds, like these guys, like they weren't on a strict diet by any means. Like they still drank their alcohol. They still had their favorite foods. They still ate sushi and ate donuts, right? And pizza and wings. And like, I'm sure there was plenty of times where they were over on their calories, and that's okay, right? But like the bigger picture is these guys were consistent. You know, they didn't beat themselves up about it the next day. They just got right back on track. And obviously with us and how we do things inside of our coaching program with accountability and our check-ins and the community and the support, it's very easy to pick yourself right back up and get back on the horse. I think what makes it hard for most guys is they are trying to do things all by themselves. And there's a lot of ego and there's a lot of pride to that. But like, let's face it, you only know what you know. And if you're stuck on the island and you only know what you know, like you might be there the rest of your life. You might not actually progress, you know? And so it's like, once again, sometimes we just have to wave the white flag and push the pride aside and say, hey, I just need some help. You know, if you think about it, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, he never played a basketball game 1 against 5. He had teammates, he had coaches, he had trainers. If you go out to war all by yourself against this big, huge army with a small little pistol and it's just you, you're never going to win that war. You got to make sure that you have your brothers in arms. You got to make sure they have the right people in your corner holding you accountable and helping you on this journey just to make it so much easier for you. That way you can actually have success at reaching your goals, and you can learn that success to maintain it for the rest of your life. It's like learning how to drive a car. Once you pass driver's ed test, you get your license, you don't need that driving instructor anymore. You know, somebody can, you know, give you a fish and feed you for a day, or somebody can teach you how to fish and feed you for the rest of your life. And if you're somebody that's looking to learn what works best for your body type, your busy schedule, and your lifestyle, so you can easily and effortlessly reach your health and fitness goals and maintain that success long term, then once again, I got 2 helpful resources down in the description box down below for you. Whether it's the free fat loss training guide or whether it's just hopping on a free strategy call, going over your health and fitness goals and seeing if maybe coaching is a good option for you. Nonetheless, I really hope that you guys got some value from today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below with letting me know your biggest takeaway. And as always, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not yet already. This has been Joe Callari with Heartletics.com, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.